Go.
Emily, a young girl that I talked to recently, grew up in church, went through a children's ministry, went through middle school youth ministry throughout her middle school years, but going into ninth grade, her parents decided to get a divorce, and the way her church reacted to that and her church friends was a terrible experience for her. She didn't feel love, accepted. She didn't feel any genuine authenticity from them. So she began hanging out with other people from school on the weekends, people who cared, and ultimately Emily walked away from the church. I'm a youth pastor now, and I've talked to many students over the last several years who have said to me, Micah, I'm just frustrated with the church. I'm frustrated with the lack of authenticity, and there's a real concern there for me. I believe that the church as a whole is failing in this area. We're not reaching young adults and young youth effectively, and I believe we can do a better job. More specifically, I believe we can do a better job in youth ministry. I believe that we are not doing the things we ought to. Things have proven that within the last 30 years, the majority of students that come through youth ministry are walking away from the faith. We've also had proof that the majority of people that don't go to church that are young see Christianity in a negative light, and we have facts and statistics that prove the current methodology in youth ministry and the current way that we do things just isn't working. The majority of students that have grown up in the youth group within the last 30 years are just not staying in church. Barna Group, evangelical Christian polling industry out of Ventura, California, recently did a study and they found that out of students surveyed that went to youth group in high school, 1 out of 10, less than 1 out of 10, listed Christ or faith or God or church as having any importance in their life or being a priority. I talked to a friend recently, Adam, and he said that the reason he walked away from the church, the reason he left was because he felt the same way. He felt like they weren't real, they were hypocritical, and they didn't care about him. Again, recently I talked to another friend, Taylor, who said he never felt connected to God or to a church or anything through his youth ministry, but he grew in his relationship with Christ and grew stronger in the Lord because of a close friend, because of a close relationship, a friend he had in high school who also loved the Lord and encouraged him to grow more. Few non-churchgoers see Christianity in a positive light. Barna Group again did a study on this, and it proved that the minority of people perceive Christianity as to be relevant and loving and caring and concerning. And to me, that is an alarming fact to realize. It's alarming, and something needs to change. When I was 18, I went to Philadelphia with my friend Brad, and we surveyed tons of young and old people, and we found that the majority of them, when we asked them, what do you think about when you think of God? What comes to your mind when you think of religion? When you think of church? The majority of them responded with a negative attitude, a negative response. To me, again, this was something that was alarming. It was scary to me. When I looked into my youth group, I realized that out of the 23 of us that graduated from youth group, only 4 of us have remained in the church. That's 17% of us have remained in the church. There's a problem here that needs to be addressed. We need to change youth ministry if we want different results. Young people don't react positively to churches having swagger or being, ooh, look at us, or churches that are promoting themselves. They want to know they're cared about, they're loved about, and that they're being salt. It would be like inviting a stranger to go on vacation with you. When we try to get people to come into a relationship with Christ without first knowing them and relating to them, it just doesn't work, and it never happens. And my purpose for going into youth ministry is to change this mindset, to be someone who helps youth to feel loved and cared about. In conclusion, all these evidences and facts have proven that youth ministry needs to change. There needs to be something different. And I'm in youth ministry so I can help young people to see Christianity and Christ in the church in a positive light, in a positive way, to know that we are Christ-centered, that we are people-centered, not program-centered, and when Christ is lifted up, all men are drawn unto him. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this thought from C.S. Lewis. He said, experience is a brutal teacher, but oh my God, do you learn.